As you guys enter, help yourself to some food and drinks. I know some people are hungry.
Premiere of this documentary, Winds of Change, and by Javier Diami.
I want to emphasize, thank you to Rebecca and the Unidel team. We have today John, Ricard, we have Christina with us, Adele is not here today. I mean, this project that you're going to see only exists because of the Unidel team and Rebecca. An applause for them! The same thing happens with filmmaking. It is key to find an interesting personality. So I had the luck to find among the entrepreneurs of Unidel Nacho Allanz, this Argentinian entrepreneur who had the right ingredients for this project. He had a good, interesting startup. It's a startup that creates a low-power aeolic wind generators for people that are isolated, that live in isolated areas. So, you know, a clean energy, wind, low-power aeolic generators using the technology of hybrid cars. Very interesting. But that's not enough. On top of that, Nacho had the right personality, a personality very transparent. You know, it's very spontaneous. He really shows you who he is at every moment. And this is very important because entrepreneurship, as you all know, and entrepreneurship and filmmaking have a lot to do with each other. Entrepreneurship is very hard in many ways. It's, there are many challenges, there are conflicts, there are the moments of doubt, and of course, there are massive amounts of excitement, massive amounts of rewards, just like in filmmaking. And in order to capture that in a film, you need to work with a character that is very transparent. And Nacho was like that.
Es el idioma universal que uno puede trasladar cosas sin tener que hablar.
We're going to have all these personalities of the entrepreneurial world providing background on his thoughts and on his emotions. And we've had the fortune to have in the film Jeff Hoffman, who is the co-founder of Priceline.com and many other ventures, Rebecca herself and Henrik Schill, fantastic personalities of the entrepreneurial world who are doing wonderful work with the new generations of entrepreneurs. We have Todd Francis and David Barnes, two fantastic speakers from the investment side. Evan Reas, CEO of a very hot startup currently in Silicon Valley, Circle. From the invention, from the creativity point of view, Daniel Kotke. Daniel Kotke, the friend, roommate of Steve Jobs, that traveled with Steve Jobs to India and one of the first employees of Apple.
I go to Chicago, they all work in banks.
It's not culturally accepted to be an entrepreneur.
And if you were to go home and say, I'm quitting my bank job to start something, high five, you're quitting IBM. Yes, I can't believe you lasted that long. So we have this culture of like, go for it. And everybody knows somebody who can help that person get started.
The investors, the media, everybody else, everything falls in place in the entrepreneurial world when you solve a real problem for a real customer. So stay focused on that.
Do it. Okay? Do it.
The most important thing from a filmmaker point of view, right? In a documentary, you want to communicate a message. When that person feels down, you can see it on the screen. When that person feels excited, you can see it on the screen. When that person has doubts, you can see it on the screen. So when I went to see the entrepreneurs that you and Rebecca and all your group had, I was looking for somebody who had that degree of transparency, And this is the most important thing, in a documentary, when you work with professional actors, and I do both narrative and documentaries, when you work on a narrative film with professional actors, there is no problem. You already know these are professional actors, they are trained to express their emotions. But when you are working on a documentary, this is challenging. You need to find a subject that has that level of transparency, because if not, the message is not going to arrive to the audiences. Every little mistake you make, you forgot to put this, you forgot to do that, the wrong lighting, then it becomes like weeks and months, in post-production.
The music mixing, by the way, all very, very good.
Thank you very much. Yeah, for me, music is really half of any film. It's 50%. Me is half is the music, half is the image. And I take extreme care with the music, extreme care, you know. And in this case, it's a process that takes quite a long time. You are watching them will build the story. And as I was working with Nacho, and I saw his doubts, his frustrations, his excitements, his project about the wind and everything. Why is this film called? Do you think I knew it would be called Winds of Change? No, it's called Winds of Change. Winds is because of his startup, and his startup that is about wind energy is a fantastic metaphor of entrepreneurs. Because entrepreneurs have to be as fluid and as flexible and as changeable as the wind, you know. So all of this came from Nacho. It came from the character. Once I filmed Nacho, I looked at all the footage, and I started to find important topics in his footage that would be interesting for entrepreneurs around the world. For me, it's been a really exciting project. Actually, the three in parallel, the three documentaries have this style. It's literally you are building the story from the characters in real time. You know? It's fascinating. You know? It's really great.